Hello students, this is Professor Faiz Raut from Jain College of Engineering Department of MBA. I'm teaching module 5 of Legal and Business Environment. I am in lecture number 5 of this module. In the previous 4 lecture, we have discussed regarding the industrial policies and the industrial policies of India and its resolutions. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about classification of industries based on the ownership. Well, a classification of industries on the base of ownership is in your VTU syllabus is being divided into 4 types: public sector, private sector, joint sector, and cooperative sectors. Okay, it is based on the ownership. Well, we have been touched these 4 points or 4 sections or the classification in the second module of Companies Act. Okay, so still we are going to discuss a few things about this here. Well, it's going to be a short lecture. The first one is public sector. Public sector undertaking, as you know, it's a term used for government owned corporation. Okay, the corporation or the company can be owned by government, state government, central government, or the combination of any of the states or central governments. But the majority shareholding will be with the government. Other private players or the other individuals can hold some shares in these companies, but the shareholding of 51% or more will be with the government organizations, or the government of center, or the state government. So it is, if that is the case, then that company will be under public sector. Well, in prior to 1947, prior to independence, there was no term called as a public sector in Indian economy. So in post independence, when the industrial policy of 1948 was formulated, as India was more influenced by the socialist kind of an ideology. Well, India was a mixed economy, but there were private sectors, but the more influence was on socialist idea. So there, in that resolution of 1948, more importance were given for public sector undertakings and the government companies. And because of that, public sector undertakings laid a strong foundation for the industrial development of the country. And even in the policy of 1956, importance of public sector enterprises in many industries were given importance. Okay, for example, a few public sector are like Bharat Heavy Electrical Limited, BHEL, NTPC Limited, Bharat Electronics Limited, okay, Hindustan Aeronautical Limited, Airports Authority of India, Goa Shipyard Limited, and many other sectors are there in public sector. Many other companies are there in public sector. Okay, so this was about public sector. Next, I'll talk about private sector. Private sector industries are owned and operated by private individuals. So the majority holding, the 51 or more percent of holding will be of the private individuals and not by the government. Government can hold a minority shareholding in that, no doubt. Well, in the policy of 1956, actually, and the resolution on in this resolution, there were 3 categories made. 17 of the industries whose future development was to be exclusively responsibility of the state. That means only public sector will be starting companies in these 17 industries. Next category was 12 such industries where government will start its company, but it was also open for the private sector companies. So even government side by side, simultaneously private sector was also responsible for setting up the industries in this 12 industries. And lastly, the remaining industries which were there, it belonged to private sector, which was given freedom to operate. If I can mention the first category, for example, defense and even airlines at that time was under government control. The petroleum was under government control. Okay, railways, till now it is under government control. Second, for example, 12 industries in which both are there. So industry in terms of different banks were there. Okay, banking sector was not restricted to public sector before even before 1991, but the private banks were very few, and many of the cooperative banks were also termed as private banks at that time. So very few of the private sector was also there in banking industry, and major of the public sector was banks were also there in the under this industry, banking industry. Similarly, other 11 industries, both private and public, were there. And third category, where only private sector was there, which was very limited. Okay. Next point is, as stated earlier, the new industrial policy enunciated in 1991 abolished industrial licensing and opened up the economy considerably. So, which was the industrial policy which was formed in 1991, abolished the industrial licensing, the licensing Raj, which I told you in the previous lectures, was abolished, and the economy got opened up, as it was the recommendation from the International Monetary Fund. Okay, next point is, with the formulation of the Companies Act 1956, there was a clear path given to private sector enterprises, but as per me, the major boost to private sector was received in the year 1991 itself. And this was seen by the policy framework of the Industrial Policy Resolution in 1991, because of the liberalization and the privatization of the economy. Okay, next is about the joint sector. Okay, joint sector is the joint ownership between government and private entrepreneurs. That means a company, a single company will be formed, in which there will be participation from the government side, from the also from the private side. Okay, so government laid down some guidelines. According to these guidelines, 26% of the equity ownership will be of the government or of the state. 25% will be of the private sector, okay, or the private individuals, and the remaining 49% will be investing by the public, by the common public, including the financial institutions. So this was kind of a guideline laid how to form a joint sector. Some examples of these is Indian Synthetic Rubber Limited, Indian Oil Sky Tanking Limited, Internet of Thing Infrastructure and Energy Services Limited, Webel Technology Telecommunication Limited, Karnataka Blades Limited. Well, even I didn't heard this name of the company very often. Okay, and you must have been hearing this company names for the first time. So, but if you search this, these are the joint sector companies in India. Okay. Next is about cooperative sector. Well, cooperative is a business organization that is owned and controlled by the people who uses its product and supplies or services. Okay, and this cooperative sector is not very huge, but it is distributed in almost every industry. And next is, a salient feature of Indian cooperative movement is that it has not only numerically expanded, but has continuously diversified its activities over the years. So I was telling, it has diversified, which has been cleared by the next point. In addition to traditional activities like credit, marketing, or distribution, this cooperative sector has penetrated into fields like fishing, housing, handicrafts, handlooms, and many of the industries. It has been penetrated and has been diversified. Few of the example, the major example is Amul, which was the main thing, which was the important birth child, we can call, for the white revolution which took place in India. And Saraswat Bank, the largest cooperative sector bank in India, and Shri Mahila Gruha Udyog, okay, which is the which manufactures the Lijjat Papad, which brought a kind of a women empowerment in Indian sectors and in the Indian economy. This was about the four sectors of the economy. Well, thank you for your patient listening.